problema, kunyari, diba tatlo yung investor, isa lang yung example mo. Yung isang investor, taga Ateneo, yung isa kalbo, tapos yung isa maputi. So, maghanap ka ng isang taong may ganun lahat, di ba? Maputi yung kalbo na taga Ateneo or something. Pwedeng ganun. Yung wow moment naman, I think you should look at that as a separate from everything else. So, talagang think of it as something that is a benefit of what you are doing or your product that is wow. I mean, talagang
differentials from the unfair advantage.
actually, pwedeng the same, pwedeng hindi. Kasi ang unfair advantage, pwedeng, pwede siyang feature, meaning technology siya na nobody else has. Or it can be something na sobrang simple na, kunyari, dito mo si Manny Pangilinan, unfair advantage. Pero hindi siya technology. Basta ang importante ang definition ng unfair advantage, something that makes you better but cannot be easily copied or bought. Pwede na siyang yung mga moment, but not all the time. Okay? So, so these are storytelling tips. Now, every time, ilang beses na nagtanong ang mga tao sa inyo ng what do you do? Diba? Pag sinabi, what do you do? What does your startup do? Tapos kailangan mo sumagot ng mabilis or hindi mo alam kung ano sasabihin. Sinong hindi alam kung ano sasabihin? Mahirap kasi lalo na pag mabilisan, lalo na pag nasa event lang kayo, na hindi ka naman nasa stage, diba? You have to present right away. And that is why na-invento ang tinatawag na elevator pitch. Bakit siya tinatawag na elevator pitch? Kaya siya tinawag na elevator pitch kasi what if, kunyari, yung sariling mga kumpanya niyo, iniisip nyo na, alam ko, you know what, I know for a fact na pag nakausap ko si Manny Pangilinan, si MVP, pag nakuwento ko lang sa kanya kung ano yung ginagawa ko, bibigyan niya ako ng pera, magagawa ko na to. Ba't dyan, nag-iisip ng ganyan, di ba? What if nasa mega mall ka, tapos nandun ka sa parking, pagpasok mo ng elevator, biglang pumasok si Manny Pangilinan, tapos sumarado yung pinto. Kaya siya tinawag na elevator pitch. Because you have exactly the time na nagsara yung pinto to the time na kung saan siya bababa. Hindi natin alam, baka B1, B2, baka third floor, manood siya ng sine, di ba? Hindi natin alam. So you have that exact time to to pitch what you are doing to this person. So, that's why it's called an elevator pitch. Now, okay lang yan, madali lang naman. Ang elevator pitch, this is the example, or this is the definition in Wikipedia. Kind of weird. So, this is my example, this is my definition. It's basically trying to convince someone of something during a short elevator ride. Now, it sounds difficult, but just try to break it down. Two parts. The problem, the solution. Now, let's try to put a little bit more structure. Lagyan natin ng konting rules. Number one, has to be easy to understand. Huwag mo lagyan ng jargon, huwag mo lagyan ng technical terms, huwag mo lagyan ng something na hindi nyo maintindihan. Dapat kahit sino makakaintindihan. Number two, it has to be believable, meaning may data. Alam mo yun, something that hindi yung invento lang. Kasi malay, baka yung nag-iimbento ka lang. At least I have to understand na pinag-aralan mo to, or you have experience in this field or something. So it has to be believable. Number three, show me the money. Meaning, you have to show me that it's a business. Otherwise, kung ako si Manny Pangilinan, baka inisip ko humihingi ka lang ng pera. Baka humihingi ka lang ng donation, di ba? So pakita mo sa akin na negosyo to. And number four, it has to be concise. Kasi nga naman, di ba, it's just a short elevator ride. It's probably 1 to 2 minutes. So you have to be able to do this in 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes, the elevator pitch. Bakit? Matakot? Dami? Okay, dali lang yan. Bigyan kitang sample of a good elevator pitch, okay?
Hi, I'm Phil Linden, the CEO of Evernote. Evernote is your external brain. Whenever anything important happens, you can put it into Evernote, you'll always have it on hand when you need it. You can use Evernote with lots of devices you currently have. You have versions for Windows and for Mac. You can also use this from any web browser, any phone, any camera. Now, your memories take many different shapes. There's lots of stuff you want to remember. So you can use Evernote, for example, to take a picture of someone's business card, or take a picture of a whiteboard or a white label that you want to remember. Or you can leave yourself a text note or a voice note. All this information goes up in the Evernote servers, where it's processed and indexed, letting you do things like search for all the text in your images, letting you search by location. The information is then synchronized back down to your client so that it's always on hand, so you can always find what you need wherever you are. Evernote has 2 subscription levels. You have a free subscription and a premium subscription. Premium subscription is $5 a month, and you get virtually unlimited storage and all sorts of other goodies. Thank you.
See? 1 minute lang yun. Actually, less than 1 minute, mga 57 seconds. So in 1 minute, na-explain niya yung product niya, ano yung problem na trying to solve, yung features, magkano, tapos pati yung lahat ng numbers na kailangan niya i-mention, yung prices na, di ba? So that is a good elevator pitch. Here's a good example of a better one.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
Hey, so that's a good example of how you can incorporate humor into your pitch and still be very effective. Diba? Nakakatawa siya pero sobrang effective pa rin. For $1 a month, we send high quality razors right to your door. Do you think it's a good business? Sa tingin nyo, good business kaya yun? Nung nag-start siya noong 2012, he made $4 million US dollars for 2012. That was 4 years ago. 2 months ago, 2016, Unilever bought his company for $1 billion US dollars. $1 billion US dollars in just 4 years. So ganun kalapit yung business. Okay? Alright, so that is the verbal part of Audit. Ito muna. Sabi mo, mahirap eh. Bigyan kitang shortcut. Yan. This is the shortcut to the elevator pitch. 3 parts. Do you know what I so that? Okay? Example. Do you know that 9 out of 10 Filipinos go through 3 hours of traffic every day? Number 2. What I do is I've built a time machine that allows you to go to work and use the time machine to go back into time so you are not late. Number 3. So that you will never ever be late to work again and your office productivity improves by 500%. Ganun kasimple. So pag nasa event ka, nasa party ka, tapos may nagtanong, so, what do you do? Gawin natin. Konti na naman tayo na yun. I'll go. You. Using the 3 method.
You know that your guys can earn a lot of money,
Okay.
but they have problems finding their clients during off-peak days.
Okay.
In Sunny Trip, we connect these tour guides to tourists who might just be their next client.
Okay.
So that with technology, we allow them to have a greater reach to their potential clients.
Okay. Good. Very nice na biglaan, di ba? Ngayon lang. Oo. So at least next time, pwede mo nang i-refine, di ba? But at least you have something to say already in the next event, di ba? Okay, next. Ikaw.
Okay. Do you know do you know that 300,000 it's what's this about?
Sige! Cut! Okay. Take two.
Do you know that coral reefs are $300,000 per hectare per year in the Philippines? And right now, 98% of the coral reefs in the world are being damaged. So what we do is we assess corals and we get damage levels on corals so that we could easily know what's damaged, what's not, and could know when to protect it. So that is what we do.
Sinabi mo na so that eh, hindi mo nga napansin eh. Sinabi mo na yung so that we know when to protect it. Okay, finish yun. Diba? Okay, good. Wow.
If you know that you're paying too much for electricity, with one watt, we try to
sinabi mo at, kunyari, at 1-1, tapos sinabi mo at Smiley something, at Sun Trip, at Sunny Trip, parang hindi nag-connect sa akin na kayo yun eh. So parang it would have said something like, what we do at 1-1 or what we do at Sunny Trip is, para lang makonect ko na kayo yun. Okay. Mamaya na! Okay. 1 year nyo nang ginagawa yan, pwede ko ikwento sa'yo. Go.
Do you know that going to a car shop?
Ay, that quiz.
Okay.
Oh,
Take.
sige lang.
Okay.
Cut!
Do you know that going to a car shop to waste your time and sometimes having an unskilled mechanic and when your car broke down you don't know who to call to. What we do is what we will do helps you to find car shops and helps you to compare shops based on the ratings and reviews so that on your next car maintenance you can easily look for a shop that can help service your car.
Very good. Kung interesado ka sa kanya, ako interesado sa kanya. Kasi one of the startup that I pitched in Founder Institute was called mymechanical.com. I actually still own the URL about let's talk. Pero definitely I wanna know more. We'll talk. Okay? So okay. So medyo alam niyo na may idea na kayo what to do for pitching at least verbally. So in events, pitch deck, or elevator pitch, you kind of have an idea already, okay? Oh wait, I'm showing you pareho kayo, di ba?
Mag-pitch din naman.
Oh, sige.
So,
Hindi ko alam, akala ko pareho. Same company, di ba?
Same.
Ah, sige. Okay, later naman next time kayo. Kailangan may kanya-kanya kayo. Okay? So now we'll talk about the pitch deck. The pitch deck. Pag ginugol nyo yan, napakadaming template yan sa internet. There are so many pitch deck templates on the internet. But I will give you the template by this guy. This is Guy Kawasaki. He is the chief evangelist of Canva. Actually, he's a Silicon Valley marketing guru. He was part of the original Macintosh team in 1984 ng Apple. So matagal na siyang nasa Silicon Valley, more than 30 years na. And sa sobrang galing niya, he's a speaker and a book writer. And he has he's seen so many pitches. So he's seen some really bad pitches. And that's why he came up with the 10-20-30 rule. Okay? This is the 10-20-30 rule.
So before there's an epidemic of Meniere's disease in the venture capital industry, I came up with the 10-20-30 rule. This is the 10-20-30 rule. You should have 10 slides in your PowerPoint pitch. 10, not 50. I don't care if you have curve jumping, paradigm shifting, P2P, Google AdWords, social network, optimized SQL-based way to sell dog food online. 10 slides. That's all we can handle. Those 10 slides you should be able to give in 20 minutes. You may have a 1-hour meeting, but you're using a Windows laptop. It's going to take you 40 minutes to make it work with the projector. Right? 20 minutes. And the smallest font you should use is 30 points. You see 20, 14, and 12. You should use 30 points for 2 reasons. First, the kind of people you're pitching to looks like that. The second reason is by having a 30-point font, you can put a lot less text. This forces you to actually know your presentation and just put the core of the text on your slide. If you need to put 8 points or 10 points fonts up there, it's because you don't know your material. If you start reading your material because you don't know your material, the audience is very quickly going to figure out that you are a bozo. They're going to say to themselves, this bozo is reading his slides. I can read faster than this bozo can speak. I will just read ahead. If you don't buy the 30 points is the right font size, I will give you an algorithm. Give you an algorithm. Find out who the oldest person is in the audience, divide his or her age by 2. That's your optimal font size. Okay? Unless you're pitching to 16-year-olds, don't use the 8-point font.
Great. So the important, for me, the most important part from the 10-point rule is that you should never ever be reading your slides in your pitch. Okay? Never be looking like that and just reading everything that is written word for word. Because if you do that, your audience will not listen to you anymore. You will lose their attention. So 10-20-30 rule, most important part, do not read your slides. Okay? Okay. So si Guy Kawasaki, like I said, he's a speaker and a book writer, and he wrote this book, The Art of the Start. This is the second version, it's The Art of the Start 2.0. But inside the book are the only 10 slides you need in a pitch. Now, let's be a little bit more ano here, a little bit more, let's put a little more context. You don't have to have only 10 slides. But these are the 10 slides that you need the most. Meaning ito yung pinaka-importanting 10 slides. So if you have this, you should have at least this. Parang ganun. Okay? But depending kasi on your story and whatnot, maybe madagdagan ng konti. What's important is you follow the rules. You end early, you end on time, and then you use the other tips that Tyler Carter mentioned. Okay? So, slide 1, company name, your name, title, address, email, everything. Number 2, the problem and opportunity. Again, talk about the problem, but guys, talk about the customer's problem, not yours. Ganyan, hi, good afternoon, kami po sa Sunny Tours. Wala na po kami pera, sabihin niyo po kami, hindi ganon, okay? You have to talk about the customer's problem. So you talk about the tour guides and whatnot. Number 2, it can be a problem because you're trying to solve a problem, or it can be a pleasure because it can be that you are like games or Instagram, di ba? Wala naman silang problem na sinasolve, but they just provide entertainment for people. Number 3, how big of a problem is it? If you're trying to solve a problem for 4 people in the world, unless those 4 people are billionaires, it's not worth it, di ba? So how big of a problem is it? Now, this is important. You, as much as possible, especially if you're pitching for investment, you have to have the TAM, SAM, and SOM slide. What is that? Total addressable market,